Oh wait, you're streaming now, so I can't say top secret stuff.
Yeah, what were you
Okay.
saying? What were you saying about the back end of LCK? You're saying some weird executive shit. That's why you got a haircut or something. You're gonna have dinner with fucking fake.
I literally
family?
didn't have a haircut.
You did though.
I've actually.
What are you
No, I actually
waffling
haven't.
about?
Bro,
I've been super lazy, and I haven't got my
Okay.
haircut. And I'm deliberating whether I should get my haircut before Road to MSI or before MSI. Actually, it's my brother's wedding, so I should get my haircut probably tomorrow or Thursday.
I thought he was
That's a good
lagging.
idea.
He took a long time to think about that.
He has a busy schedule.
Contemplation.
Okay, all right.
I have a busy schedule.
You're on
Things to
air
do.
tomorrow, aren't you?
Things to do.
Today,
Things to
tomorrow's
do.
Wednesday, no? You're on
I
air
think we're
tomorrow?
both busy.
Okay.
Bro,
all right.
like,
Eragon,
okay,
it wasn't
low
actually
key,
on you.
Hysterics, you got to be a really, really good host today because I've got a dip in 1 hour 22 minutes. I am
was
against
a good
KC
host
Blue.
last time. You guys yapped your head off. Dude, we
Bro,
went
like-
into Ziggs without Orcs even like getting prompted
Hysterics.
for it. And you were like, let me ask you about jungle. That was you
Right now,
last week.
you casted LEC Winter, right?
That was him. What
You
do
casted LEC Winter, right, Hysterics?
Yeah, I did.
Any tips against KC Blue for tonight?
We're
We're in a best of 3.
They're a completely different team, no?
No.
What
They
do you
just
mean?
swapped the 80 carry, but they're the same team. They've still
So
got
they've got
Yukino and
Yukino-
so on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just shut down Yukino and the game's easy. Top is
Just
free.
shut down Yukino. Thank you for the help.
I feel like top is
appreciate
free,
it.
no? I mean, what's his name again? Starts with T?
Tau.
Tao.
No.
Yeah, I mean, Tao was kind of gapped in top, but apparently good in ARL, so I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Bro, good luck anyway.
Okay. Thank you.
So you started streaming, did you?
I think I'm live.
Give us a shout.
Yeah,
Find out.
I am.
Oh, you
I
are?
am live.
Okay.
Well, there we go.
We can start.
People are question marking and saying, "What is this?"
They got the title there. Don't worry about
Can
it.
you
They got the-
intro us already?
I can. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Meta Merchants. It is the best league podcast, and I wrote this down, from analysts and broadcasters who live in the game every week, linking you between pro play and your solo queue. That's where we come in. We're the Meta Merchants. Now, if you missed the first week, which was 2 weeks ago, which is the first episode, Orcs came up with the name. I have to keep giving credit because it was so good. Yeah. You're getting sludge on you, man. You did pretty good. He's got a nice haircut. Apparently not a haircut. Dude, what did you comb for this or not? Did you comb your hair?
Did you comb?
No.
Bro,
Just-
who has
it
combed
just-
since they were 8 years old?
You
I haven't
don't-
seen a comb since
Yeah,
I was
I
like
can
10.
see that. I can see that. And to be fair, I'm not one to talk, but bro, you look like you just came out of the shower with
I
wet
did.
hair 3 days ago.
I did. I woke up from a nap 5 minutes ago. I'm very real.
We look.
Banger.
We obviously look amazing. Orcs is just kind of setting the expectations. Gents, it's good to see you again. It's been a couple of weeks. Obviously, LEC's done. LCK is still going, actually gotten into playoffs. LPL the same with a couple of upsets. We can talk about that in a little bit. First, I want to see where you guys are at because in the past couple of weeks, live has gone to 26-11. I don't know if you guys care much about the patch and what you've been doing in your solo queue adventures because you're both... Are you on the grind, Orcs? Are you still up there or what?
Not a ton. When I arrived in Korea, I was hitting master tier every year, and then more recently, my goal for this year, I was like, I'm gonna get back on the grind, gonna really aim high.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you know about, there was this bug in Korea. I started the season. It was me and Wadid both like first morning of the season. We're like, we're gonna hit solo queue hard. I finish my promos and I get placed into bronze. I'm like, what the fuck? And I
you must have
messaged
done
Wadid,
well.
and he's like, brother, I'm in gold. And then I find out Lucid got placed in the silver, Aiming got placed in the iron. Basically, anyone who started solo queue early in the morning got like placed like super low elo, and it was a fucking mess. Like everyone was in like random
So-
elos. You queued up in solo queue, and everyone was all over the place.
Can you
Did you
imagine?
try to get... Yeah,
Yeah.
did you try to get 4,000 LP higher and climb from bronze then? Or did you just not bother?
Well, I played a little bit, but then the game quality was like rough. Like you'd get into a game and like the elo from last season of people in the game were random.
Yeah.
So basically, I just waited for them to fix it, which took them a little bit, and then they did like bump everyone back up. But I think there's been some issues with solo queue. I know in EU you guys have had some issues. The whole server got reset. Well, not the whole server, but
they
the top
reset
end.
the server so it wouldn't be 3,500 LP players. And now it's
Yeah.
3,500 LP players again. I don't know what the point was.
Yeah, I think
So it did nothing.
there's been some things. I think there's been some issues with solo queue that I think have things haven't been smooth sailing. I didn't have the smoothest start. I haven't been super motivated with solo queue. I've been playing some fun ins houses with the LCK guys. That's been a lot of fun. But yeah, I haven't been on the solo queue grind that I've planned.
Bro,
a bit here and there.
Can you imagine though? Like you and Wadid, I mean, you first time players, they're like, I'm gonna start playing League of Legends this year, and they get placed in iron or bronze, silver, and they're going up against Lucid, Orcs, they're going up against all these players that have been like challenged. Like,
you know what happened? So on that morning, Wadid in gold. Like he got into a game and he was like, okay guys, we should go into like Discord, you know, to like try hard. We should be in voice comms. He said to his team, we should go into voice comms. His team come into voice comms with him. His jungler, Peanut. And he's just, oh hey, what are you doing here? down in gold. Like he's just like, what is going on? Yeah, some funny shenanigans of fun. It made for a lot of fun times in LCK, because everyone was like when Lucid, I think Lucid got POM around that time, and everyone was like making comments sort of like, oh, best silver jungler in the LCK.
Oh my god,
that's so good. Eragon, are you been playing EUS or what?
Not so much playing, but like we're scrimming on the new patch, right? So we've dabbled in every change that you could think of for like for 16.11 as well. So yeah, on new patch, you know, you got shit like Nami being nerfed because of like mandate changes and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, we've done a bunch.
Why are you not playing? Because I mean, last time you complained about the state of top lane, I still feel like I think Renekton's fine. I mean, I'm in piss low, right?
I've been dabbling in a bit. So I've been playing a bit on my Smurf to learn top laners for my top laner. I've been cranking out the Lee Sin top. Have you noticed on Pro builds Orcs that some Korean top laners are playing Lee Sin top in solo queue?
Again,
I haven't seen that.
No. So it's like Doran was playing a bunch of Lee Sin top into range champions as well, and also into stuff that you can kite with like E-Slow, like Jax and so on, because you can run them down. You get your shield on a trade. You could do, you know, Cassante trades where he like dashes on a minion, gets a shield, autos and walks away. You do that now, which is pretty nice. And then you've got all in versus range champions as well. And basically, there's not much reason to flex Lee Sin out of jungle, but you can get some pretty good matchups top lane with it. And I've seen like Doran and a few other people playing. So I've been learning Lee Sin top with the new buffs. It's been quite fun.
There'd be like Nah matchups, right? Like range matchups.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Lee Sin.
You just one tap him.
Yeah.
Like Pro 6 and Mini Nah.
Speaking of Korean top, something I've seen them playing, which I'm wondering, have you seen Lissandra top with the new mandate? Has been really popular recently.
Yeah.
Well, not really popular. It's been
talking best mandate champs, yeah.
Well,
no, I haven't seen Lissandra top.
Some of our LCK top laners have started practicing Lissandra top lane with like, I think the build's like Rocket Belt into mandate, and that's kind of been coming up. So I haven't seen it in pro play yet, but just wondering if that's going to be more of a thing. We've only had 2 series on the new patch, so small sample size.
Yeah,
but I was wondering if you'd seen that.
Not yet on the LPL, and I haven't dabbled in it. I saw that Lissandra has a high win rate in solo queue top lane, and it's one of the best users of mandate. I think it's like
makes sense.
According to some stat sites, it's like 4th or 5th best user of mandate. You'll never guess which the best user of mandate is, by the way. What do you think it is? Name a champ.
Brand.
I mean, we should talk about the change because people probably don't know. It's basically new mandate. It gives you the most CDR in the game on CC abilities, hard CC abilities. Also, is it slows as well? I can't remember. It's just hard CC.
No, it's only immobilizing.
Yeah, immobilizing the enemy champion. Mark them as 6% vulnerable 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't give, the old effect was removed. You know, the effect where like the coordination, if you hit an enemy and then an ally hits an enemy, it does that burst of damage. That is gone. It's only vulnerable on CC, and then the ability haste. So, for example, a champion like Lissandra, it would apply on your W and your R, which can both CC an enemy. So
it's crazy to apply on ults, isn't it? It's crazy that it applies on ults for some reason.
It feels like it wouldn't, you know? Yeah, but
it's so cheap. I mean, is it 30 haste or 35 haste? Because previously, if you didn't know, Shojin had the most haste in the game with its passive. At 25 haste, I think it is. But now Mandate, for such a cheap item,
it's 30 to interject. It's with unique control for abilities with immobilizing effects, 15 ability haste, and then flat 15 down from 20 is actually built into the item. So 30 in total, right? But I mean, I think the biggest takeaway is that like people still look at Mandate and they look at it like, oh, I mean, it's just a support only item. Where now that vulnerability is like, well, it's just marking a champ. Wasn't there another item in the game where it just made champions
Even Shroud. It's like squishy Even Shroud.
Yeah.
I think from before. Where you get bonus damage towards the thing. But I gotta get your guess. What do you think of the highest win rate champion with Mandate is?
Highest win rate.
And it clears everything else. It's not even close.
That's crazy because you make me think like it's not an obvious thing. Because I feel like
it surprised me, but it makes sense. I guess it's a bit weird.
Because the ones I've been hearing about are like people said like Zoe've been really good, but like which wasn't
Zoe's up there. I think it's like top 4 or something.
Yeah, but I mean things that to me like things like Zoe, Galio have been ones I've been hearing about.
It's not like a LeBlanc, like an assassin running it, no.
Yeah, it is an assassin.
Okay, so what else immobilizes? I mean, you're just gonna have to give it to us at this point, bro.
Okay, yeah. It is Shaco. For the box and ulti. I'm guessing the ulti, the pop fears, right? So like you get more ults and more boxes.
I heard people talking about Shaco. I didn't think it had that much of an impact, but
yeah, it's by far the highest impacting in terms
jungle,
of win rates.
right? So. We're running a jungle.
Yeah. You got AP Shaco and you got Mandate at some point.
And this is this the first item, like a Lissandra?
No.
Shaco?
I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't make sense to be first item in my opinion, but I'd have to take a look into it. I just know if you build it, your win rate is ridiculous. Maybe second. But yeah, it's really, really silly. And this Mandate item, it's not as meta warping as I thought it'd be. And in fact, all the support changes aren't as meta warping as I thought it'd be. We've been playing a lot and scrimming a lot on the new patch, and you generally see a bit more Nautilus and so on, but it's not like it's melee meta again. You know, winning lane still matters a bunch. Sure. Getting early gold still matters a bunch, and push and hitting plates. So you still see Karma, and you still see Ashe Seraphine, and you still see all these champions on the new patch.
This would be this is a perfect Seraphine item, no? Like vulnerability, double beat drop,
some
like
build it with the E.
No, Orcs.
Some do. It's up there. Orcs is
the problem with Seraphine is like Seraphine's honest issue is that she has so many items that she'd love to buy. I know this has been like a forever issue with Seraphine is that like there is like if you could spawn in full build on Seraphine, she'd be the most broken champion in the game. Yeah. But there's like a million items every game that you'd love to buy. Like, I mean, a good example is there's so many games on Seraphine where you want to have Mikhails, but like you also kind of want to have that whole Diadem Echoes of Helia feels really good. Rylai's has always been an item that feels really nice on Seraphine because it makes your E like insta root. It's not really popular at the moment because everyone goes Ashe Seraphine, but generally historically, Rylai's has been something that like feels nice. But it's just awkward to fit in because it doesn't give any ability haste, and there's other desirable items, but people like to build it a lot, especially in solo queue. And then like, with Mandate, again, it's a good item. Old Mandate even once upon a time was decent on Seraphine, but it's just she's so heavily budgeted in terms of items. There's so many items that like synergize well with it. I feel like it's one of these awkward situations where like finding a opportunity to slot it in. I think when you're playing Ashe Seraphine, it's like, do you want to build Mandate and not go Helia Diadem? I don't know. I feel like
so many
having
good
that
options.
healing shield power is so good. Yeah.
Now that you've said it, like it actually, there are so many directions with Seraphine you can go that can be justifiable. I mean, maybe that's another reason why she's just consistently been in the meta past couple. I mean, the combo obviously with Ashe is a big hit because I don't know what makes Ashe broken. We can talk about that in a bit, but I just feel like the item changes, I mean, with that regard, maybe don't affect her much, maybe don't actually affect the bottom lane much, maybe actually open up more windows. This Imperial Mandate discussion has got me thinking, like, actually, there's more versatility on this item with not as much of the downside. Like, it feels like this is just a natural buff for Imperial Mandate. I don't know how you weigh in on it.
I think specifically with Seraphine, it's kind of like there's been more, like, mage sort of direction and more, like, enchanter sort of direction, and depending on where items lie, what's been more powerful for her. Like once upon a time, it was more like amplifying her ult and those abilities, and more enchantery. I feel like Mandate is obviously strong, but whether that's going to be the thing for her, I don't think necessarily. I think just going back to Eragon's point earlier about the melee support changes, I feel like this wasn't like the biggest patch in terms of these changes. And when you look at even though there were a lot of changes, none of them were like that crazy
Right.
in my mind that I felt like they were going to overturn the meta. Like if you look at it, Aftershock buff to have a bit more resists early,
At a base, yeah.
it's like it's not going to change things that much. Like you know, it's not going to suddenly make supports invincible in lane. And it also, like, if I feel like the thing, if you want to really make these lanes painful, is like you need either a way for melee supports to have more sustain or more kill pressure, which doesn't really exist, or maybe like a nerf to the defensive power of these ranged lanes. Things like the Locket buff, it's nice, right? Don't get me wrong, but Locket could also, in theory, be abused by enchanters if it gets strong enough. And on top of that, it also only comes in after you've completed the item. If you've been crushed, you've lost lane, you've been dove level 3, who the fuck cares about Locket? You know, like the game's over, realistically. So I think that's the thing, is that even though these changes have pushed, I think that's not a bad thing though. I think like you don't need to drastically upheave the meta, especially when we are going towards an international tournament, and you still want to keep things generally like within a relative flow. But I do think these are pushing things to make, as you said, like Nautilus is a bit more in the meta. It leaves the space open a bit more if you're a bit more disrespectful. I think it gives more room. From the LCK, what we've seen is there have been a little bit more. I mean, I wouldn't say a little bit more. There's like just maybe like a little bit more presence on melee supports, but it's been such a small sample size because we only had 2 series. It's hard to say. But like we've had some Shen games where it's looked pretty good.
Yep.
But I think it's just like you gradually nudge it there rather than completely tip the meta on its head. Which I think is the better approach, because we've definitely had in the past the really heavy-handed approach before international tournaments, which has not always gone down well.
No, I think as well, because it's a bit of whiplash for the audience, especially, like let alone casters, analysts, before a big international having to prep like, 5-10 pages of documents for patches. Speaking of, is this patch like, is there anything else in it that, Orcs, you're kind of implying that nothing really stands out for you major. Eragon, is there anything in here that you're like,
there's
oh
a
my
few
God,
things.
there's support. I mean, support changes, like obviously support item works around their bubble, their sphere has been the biggest adaptation. What hits for you then? If you say there's a lot.
I think it's just natural developments. I don't think it's anything like too specific to the patch that's been going on. So Orcs, if you have anything like specific to the patch that's changed, then you can go first. But like it's just natural developments.
Why are you handing it off to him? Where's your...
So I think for me, there's a lot of like system changes where you're not seeing the immediate response, because it's like you're tweaking a lot of systems in terms of the support role. You're doing item changes where you are seeing the abusers of like Imperial Mandate start to shift. But it's not like you're saying, oh, make this champion 10 times stronger. That has an immediate effect, which is why I think things will be more gradual to be seen. Some of the things I think are interesting, and I want to see how teams will adjust around them, or how, just in solo queue games are adjusted around it. Like the grub buff is a big example. That was a big grub buff. A third more damage on the burn, and the Void Might HP is up quite a bit. I feel like that's a pretty substantial change to the grubs, where it's a lot more power. Like, do I think suddenly it's going to mean like, oh, you have to kill grubs? No. But the buff definitely feels a bit more meaningful now. And one thing that I do feel pretty strongly about is the mid-roll quest, because that got buffed again to 8%.
It matter? Does 8% now like start tickling your fancy or what? Because before 4 to 6 was like, eh.
No, but the reason I want to talk about this and I have feelings about this is I feel like this quest... the reason I'm not a big fan of this is I feel like mid lane is historically one of the most diverse roles when it comes to the meta. And you have like different champions of completely different styles. And the reason I'm kind of not a huge fan of this, and the fact it's been buffed, is that when I think of mid lane, I think of it as one of the lanes where you can play pretty much anything. But this quest is useless for tanks. And there is also certain champions who benefit from this way more than others. And I feel like when I think of the other roles, it's just like you think of bot lane, right? You have AD carries and mages, and they both appreciate the gold quest. And even then, bot lane is like the lane that has like the least variance. Even though there are champs in top lane who benefit more from levels, everyone benefits from levels.
Yep.
Jungle, everyone's fine with it. Support, there's various item options for everyone. But this mid lane quest being so heavily weighted around AD and AP, like, remember when Scion mid used to be a thing, or Nautilus mid, or Malphite mid? And I know you can go AP Malphite, but it's like, I feel like a mid lane quest saying, oh, you have to build AD or AP to get one of the big benefits of your quest. I'm just not a big fan of it personally.
We were dabbling a bit in a bit of Scion Flex alongside Cassio, and basically you send Scion mid or Cassio mid, or the other way around as well, depending on matchup. And it didn't feel too bad even still, even though you're not getting amazing value on your quest, you know? You still did that. But no, for sure, I never thought of it from this angle that, you know, the more you build in terms of damage, the better you get, the more value you get, rather than the old quest where you got the better recall, which my mid laner still perma cries that he doesn't have anymore because it was so amazing.
True.
Yeah, no, it's a really interesting angle for sure. And it's made me think about the Scion, actually, because this is something that was very legitimate. You know, we would draft this.
I don't think it'll stop you from being able to play those things mid, but I think you'll hamstring them a little bit. And I would hate for it to like force those picks out of mid. Like, I'd hate for people to think, like, you know, kind of we think of bot lane, like bot lane has to be the carry. And that's just naturally being how the meta has, because you have the support who facilitates them. I'd hate for people for mid become, oh, you have to be a carry because you get 8% bonus AD and AP, because mid has never been that. And I'd hate for it to be shoved towards that because of this change, when it has been, the solo lanes in general have been very much like you can kind of play anything sort of thing. That's just kind of my feelings on this change. I don't think 6 to 8% has suddenly unlocked that, but I just feel that when I saw this, I kind of had a lot of thoughts about that in general.
It's not nothing, essentially, is my takeaway from all that, right? Like 8% is, you know, 8% of 100 is 8, right? And so we're like,
oh, quick maths.
Hey, I don't want to brag.
But me and Orcs just started smiling.
I didn't know he had it in him.
Can we, guys? I just want to be careful. We're a new show. We don't want to get things wrong. Can I just pull up my calculator app? So you said that was 8% off 100. My God, he's correct.
I'm correct.
He's good.
I did that on air. I am so impressed right now. So maybe it matters. But yeah, I mean, I guess the question I would always have is whether your versatility and flexibility, when you're talking about Cassiopeia and Scion with your specific situation, Eragon, is like, well, the value of having a Scion mid, maybe in certain matchups, is going to outweigh it. But I also agree with the Orcs where it's like, if it's going to hamstring, if it's going to stymie the lane or stymie the potential that you could have out of building AD/AP, when Riot talks a lot about having, we like flexibility, they've constantly come out and said they love versatility in League of Legends. If it does the opposite, then it's obviously, it's not a good addition to the game. But I mean, it's nice if you're building that way. I wanted to push forward and ask you about any champions that you're looking at from the new patch, because I was kind of having a browse through earlier. Kassadin was like one of the ones I was looking at just simply because Jojo was using it as an option into Orianna. Obviously, he's not going to be at MSI, so that won't matter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was actually using it. So you get, but the thing is,
but I saw Jojo lock in Akali into Orianna as well. And that went horribly.
Not his day, bro. Not his day.
Okay.
Not his day. That's not fair.
I'm going to be real. If you're leaving Orianna open, you just deserve to lose. I think this champion is so broken. And it's just beyond broken.
Why?
And Orianna reminds me of last year, where teams would, after a few months, stop banning Rumble and try to cook into it. And then realize, why are we trying to cook into Rumble? And it just goes back to being perma-banned on the red side again.
Why is Orianna so broken for you? Because I agree with the sentiment. I have a feeling, but I don't know why. What, low mana cost right now? Options that phase rush is back? I mean, phase rush I wouldn't even take. Like, what is it?
I mean, you're just so dominant after like your levels, you know, in the early game, right? It's just because, I mean, some things can get prio into you, like Rise, but like after you get levels, you're so dominant. You have really good ball delivery in the meta. You have great stuff to set you up. I just think this champion is arguably one of the best champs, if not the best champ in the game. And anything that you cook into it can't beat it. And at best, stonewall. I mean, you've got some random, not random. You've got some answers like Akali where you could play inside and play post 6, but it's, I think when I see Knight have a 70 KDA in the LPL on Orianna over God knows how many games, and then I also see, you know, Jojo try to cook into it and they're trying to trade off Ori by taking an answer and they get karma in response. It's just not worth it. I think it should be locked.
To me, a lot of the answers where I've seen them do well it's like a delicate balancing act. Like you have like Victor has done pretty well. You know, you have the early pressure. Rise, I've seen lane matchups where Rise has done well, but you have to do well in the early levels, and you have to also continue that pressure. And the problem is both of these are mobile champions. So like if you don't keep the pressure on, Orianna again eventually gets to the point where she'll be okay. And then if you're playing Victor into Orianna and she has, I don't know, a Jarvan in the jungle, post 6, I mean, we all know what happens. So I think it's one of these situations. You're kind of tied up where a lot of times teams let Orianna go open and they ban Nocturne instead. It's like they let Ori go open and they ban Nocturne because they're like, okay, we'll let them get Ori, we'll ban Nocturne, and then we'll get this instead. But it's like the fact that like you have to ban Nocturne to let Ori be open kind of shows how much weight is around that champion in draft.
True.
And we've seen teams lose with Orianna. It's not like this champion is like unbeatable, but it certainly creates like a huge void in the draft. And like, you know, one of the examples we had recently in playoffs was like, it was like a really strong early pressure from the Victor, and then we had like Bard roaming up to like gank at like level 2 or level 3 and like tower dive and stuff like that. And if you have a good Orianna player who's like not allowing that to happen because they aren't getting out traded early, then again, I think it's just a risk. It's a gamble, and it's similar to Rumble. Like we've had Rumble games where Rumble's lost, but also teams sometimes let Keen get Rumble, and then he just 1v9s the game, and it's like, why did you do that?
So then,
I think,
why was that thing?
My follow-up question then is, why hasn't it been touched up in this patch? Like, if Orianna's in such a good place, do you think it's just a consequence of the meta around her then? I guess that is similar to what you're saying.
I think she is getting nerfed in the following, in the future. There's planned nerfs to her base damages and a scaling on every ability, or am I misremembering? Orcs, you seem. I think you might be looking it up.
Like
I'm pretty sure there is. Yeah,
well,
but
I think
yeah.
The thing that you can always sort of think about is that we're not an MSI patch yet. MSI patch, they have a little bit more time before it, and solo queue is very different from pro play. So even if something's really strong in pro play, then not necessarily a thing for solo queue. And when we look at the changes that are coming in, Orianna passive damage increase per stack going to go down, base HP down, E resist is going to go down.
Wow.
She is going to get a little bit of AP ratio on her ult and shield, but then our base damage is going down. So basically gonna trim down a lot of her laning power.
A lot.
And a lot
They're
of her
also
sort of base power.
incentivizing damage builds, right? Because they want you to build damage. That's why they're buffing scaling and lowering base damage, right? So you have to build more damage to make up for it, and that makes it so you're less defensive if you're building like HP builds. You know, like you throw a rocket bow in there, versus something like an Akali who's diving you. And that's the idea they're probably having. Is it enough? I'm not sure. I think there's been some really funny cooks right now. There's been some. The best cook that I saw was from JDG, who took Twisted Fate and Pantheon, and they would just play off of the globals and pick the Orianna off as much as possible. That was pretty good. It was like a few weeks ago now. I still don't like it that much because I think you've got to be better and be able to pick with those globals proactively. There have been some horrendous cooks, and I blame your region for this, Orcs. Bro. EDG whipped out the Zyra. What does Zyra even do, man? Like, it didn't do anything.
I mean, Orcs can answer that for you, bro. He knows.
Yeah, go on. Elaborate. What did
So,
Showmaker cook?
Showmaker was playing the Zyra into Orianna in solo queue, and I think he had like 5 or 6 games, and his win rate wasn't super high. And basically, I think the thought process was you can kind of just wave clear, essentially, and be kind of non-interactive with the Orianna. But he played it, and then he wave cleared, and then he lost. So I
guess the idea has to be you outrange, right? Because they were playing, I think, Trundle Zyra, and you'd play with Pillar versus Oreo, who's a mobile, and then you've got to run through the Pillar and the plants at Dragon Fights if they're set up.
I assume that's a theory. He had some cooks. His other cook was like he played Cogmore mid, AP Cogmore into Cassiopeia. He's been like trying to cook like stuff he can play into like the top tier meta mids. And
I like that.
When you think about the theory, like you can kind of see what he's going for. But then at the same time, it's obviously it hasn't always worked. It's been the burden of execution is pretty high. But also it's like you are letting over like the top tier mids. So I'm like, he's trying this, and if it's successful, it's like obviously fantastic. Like you've won against Cassiopeia or Orianna. That's really great, and you can see the theory. But it's a hard ask. It's a hard ask to win these. So
yeah, I mean, I think his name was Sinian, right? It was on EDG. He locked in Zyra. He would try to play outrange. They would like run out of his ulti. They would clip him with a random Oriole. He'd be hard, they could never get the proper fights because it's just too difficult.
That guy's also been cooking. I mean, he's the Fizz mid, isn't he? He played the Fizz mid.
Fizz mids in the I think so. Yeah, he played Fizz, and was it TF on the other side, or was that another?
Yeah,
but I caught up. So there was a Fizz into a TF. I'm not sure if it was him or someone else.
No, because he picked Fizz. He thought it was into TF mid. I can't remember who they were versing, EDG. And then last pick came to Lissandra. So Fizz couldn't play, bro. He literally
we had a Fizz mid. We had a Fizz mid as well.
But yours was into the TF, right?
Yeah, I was just into TF.
I can't remember who it was.
It was Zeka into Showmaker, road to MSI qualifiers, and he went 9-0-10.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because I think on 4 people will pick like R4. They will just lock in the TF and flex it, right? And so like you get the situation where you try to counter pick it, and then they'll put the TF top, and then all of a sudden you're screwed because they'll counter pick the counter pick that you've got on R5.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's been some interesting cooks there.
Anything on any other champs you want to bring up before I move to quick question of items?
Oh yeah. I wanted to ask Orcs something. I wanted to ask Orcs. What do you think of? There's 2 champions that are like quite big standouts and patterns in the LPL right now, which you would expect them to do either really well or really bad, but they're doing the opposite. What do you think of Cassio? I guess it's more so just Cassio in this regard.
So Cassio's she was doing very well in the LCK, and then started getting pretty much permabanned. So at this point, it's just banned.
Yeah.
That is just state.
Cassio is 1 win, 10 losses in the LPL. And I'm just sitting there like, it's not even just bad players playing him. It's everyone playing him. And it's to lots of different matchups. The best players are losing, even in good matchups. Like people are locking Ari into Cass and winning. And I'm just like, what is happening? Because the lane phase is supposed to be...
Wait. They're winning with Ari or Ori?
There's been a win with Ari, not Orianna.
They're winning lane with Ari or winning the game?
No. Winning games. I'm just saying, like, they're winning games with a variety of matchups and getting through lane, even CS. And I'm sitting there like, how is this possible?
That's crazy. Yeah,
exactly. I'm not really understanding. The only win is from Cream on TES.
But highly contextual, right? Like, do you remember any of the games in terms of...
Yeah, of course. I mean, of course, it's 1 win, 10 losses, and in my opinion, a lot of the games aren't really Cassio's fault, but it's becoming quite a bit now, to the point where Cassio isn't banned anymore. People don't even look at Cassio when it comes to like B1s as much. I'm sitting there on stream, co-streaming the LPL. I'm like, okay, so they could B1 Cassio here. There's an OP that they're trading. Goes through the entire draft.
That's crazy.
Because people are just dropping it because it's losing in the LPL.
Crazy.
It's
LEC
really bizarre.
It was first pick like Yahoo, either in the MCOI series or the finals versus G2. I can't remember which game. It was like our side led through, red side led through. Boom, Yahoo just locks it in and has an insane game because it looks so strong in LEC.
We had so many lanes where it's like she hits the Noxious Blast, Twin Fang, and then just as you're getting out of range, Noxious Blast again, and then they walk away and the poison's ticking on them so they can't recall. And in that moment, when they're under tower and they're waiting for the poison and then the Deathfire touch to finish, and you can tell, like I'm casting, you can tell going through their head, I hate my life.
Yeah.
I hate you. That's the way you feel. I mean, that ruined that champion. So it's crazy to me that it just hasn't been working. I do think, in fairness, Cassiopeia is a champion with like a high burden of execution, and that's not to say like I'm saying like, oh, LPL players can't pull it off. Absolutely not. I feel like it's high burden of execution in terms of like the composition, the team has to set it up well, and it's easy for it to go wrong. And that's not even like saying, oh, they messed it up, they played badly. It's just things can go wrong, right? She has limitations as a champion, even though she obviously has a lot of power. So for her to have a big loss streak isn't like the craziest thing in my mind, even though she's obviously also, in my mind, very strong.
Yeah.
But it is pretty wild.
Yeah. And then one last one. I want to ask you, Hysterics. Is Naafiri priored at all in the LEC?
A little bit. It was an option in the Varus top, and then we had it a lot of the time into Trundle, which I know LCK also.
In jungle.
In jungle, not as much. Like, I have to go back on Game of Legends and have a look, because I just remember that Naafiri was always like, Naafiri was usually a flex option. We did get it in jungle. People like Lensis like to play it, but as you know, he bombed out. Skewmond in finals, did he not just play it? That's my final question.
I was there watching. I was working at the LCK
you
studio.
were working there.
I can't remember. Like, I was there watching the game.
I mean, we've only got 3 Naafiri games in total, right? And as I click on it and look, those games are 2 Skewmond, 1 Main 1 Yike. Actually, no lenses there from playoffs.
Because Naafiri looks like, to me, potentially the best champion on the patch.
He did play it in finals and they lost. It was the game one that they lost. Right.
It's being just absolutely raw slammed. Just 1-2. And it is almost 70% win rate, 6 KDA.
Did you say raw dog? Did you say raw dog?
Yeah, just slammed without any ban. Like, you know, it just
raw dogged.
I think maybe like you can ban Nocturne for it, but generally people are just picking it, and it looks so overpowered. I think the best one right now, if you wanted to watch, is like Monkey. You just went out, but everyone's winning on this champ, and it looks so OP.
His thing, to paraphrase some of the tweets I've seen, was like, at least like him getting overloaded a lane, or rather him getting a full lane to himself and just getting heaps of resources. And Naafiri was one of the games that I watched back where he was just giving top resource. Are you getting invaded, Orcs? What happened? Oh, the door closed. You okay?
Bit of background noise.
Oh, that's all right. Lee Sin, by the way, was the other matchup, like the 2 matchups that I got ran into twice versus G2 versus
Lee Sin's a bit annoying. Because the dogs can block the queue, so you're not the happiest, but it's still...
Dude, the dogs are fucking broken.
You don't like the dogs.
Dude, when the dogs block a skill shot, oh my... I'm going to tell you a pick, guys, because I was playing a good amount of Naafiri. I'm going to do a little bit of flex, right? Because I know I said I wasn't playing a ton of solo queue, but I was playing a lot of in-houses.
Oh.
I was playing some in-houses against, Wadid, so some prestigious former LCK pros. In these in-houses, players like Umpty, players like Bang. And there was one champion that remained 100% ban rate throughout all of these in-houses.
Yeah.
And it was Naafiri. And I'll also tell you, it was my Naafiri. And we did banned it every single game.
Wow.
Disgusting. He just refused
to play. Is it because you're a one-trick or because it's OP?
No. But he also banned my Ziggs and my Smolder. He just hated on me. It was messed up.
Played too many games in gold, mate. Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, I feel like Naafiri, I was kind of ahead of the curve on Naafiri. I think this champion, a little bit obnoxious, a little bit bonkers.
Yep.
Cyclo Sword, crazy on him. On her, sorry. But I also felt like it's kind of missed the mark now. But I feel like in solo lanes with Deathfire touch, oh my god. Back when it was physical damage, it was disgusting. It was because it was kind of similar to like, Gangplank or Smolder, how like you had the high AD scaling, but you just like hit them with your Q and it would just melt them. And it was like, but I feel like, obviously that's not really a thing anymore because it's magic damage. So I mean, I guess you could still play it, but it's not going to be as good. But I feel like the champion just does so well because you have such good skirmishing power, you have such good mobility, you have your W, which makes you untargetable, you have the ability to just kind of pick and choose fights at a whim. You're hard to take down, you're hard to pin down. If you, ult onto a target, straight onto them. If you get ahead, how can you really be outplayed? Like, you just ult onto someone, you're on them.
This champion has W, and then a dash on a 3-second cooldown, and a permanent spell shield to skill shots because of the dogs.
Yeah, with a reset.
With a reset, and it's just playing the front line and perma poking. If ever lands a Q, you lose hundreds of HP, even without the pop of the Q.
I mean, the diving, diving threat's so crazy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Imagine you're playing into Ezreal, right? Okay. Imagine you're playing Vi into Ezreal, and you ult Ezreal, he arcane shifts away, and then you knock him up, but then he just starts mystic shotting you, and maybe he gets he gets back his. What's it called? His arcane shift. He's getting damage into you. You can kite again. Imagine you're playing Naafiri. You ult onto him. You follow him. He mystic shots your dog, and then he just keeps flipping onto you, and you're dead. What are you supposed to do?
And you W. Like, it's just.
There's no counterplay. It's disgusting, and it's the fact you can build I mean, I know a lot of people are building like Cyclo Sword and a Bruiser, but the fact you can go so much damage in your build,
Yeah.
and still just because you're so hard to punish. Like a lot of the builds in pro play tend to lean very heavy towards being more tanky compared to solo queue.
Yeah.
But the fact that Cyclo Sword can be a first item because, you can just go untargetable whenever you want, is pretty disgusting.
So-
and that item is just built for Naafiri.
So you touched on it before, but obviously Deathfire Touch in this patch is changing to only magic damage. So, I don't know if the GPs are dead. I don't know if the Naafiri solo lanes are dead. It's still being used, right? But just not.
Yeah. I mean, for the GP example, you still get the lane dominance, right? Your Q in lane is still going to help you get through lane.
But is it
especially
a
for, like, the
higher
range
priority to take this than Grasp? Because Grasp...
Yes, it is.
Or is it
So there was
dependent?
no. You just go DFT. There was a Grasp GP in the LPL for an example, right? And he went Bruiser, and it was completely useless.
So,
you just
How
don't
do you
do
mean the
anything.
Birdle? What the hell?
Yeah.
So I think specifically this is completely fine for GP, but the reason I said specifically about like Naafiri is because Naafiri would build like early lethality, and Naafiri would play like you often play Naafiri mid into mages, and mages would have lower base armor than magic resist, whereas top lane a lot of the things that GP would play into that actually have quite high base armor. So it switching to magic damage wouldn't make much of a difference. I'm not saying that this is, by the way, killed like Deathfire Touch Naafiri. It's probably still very playable, but this is definitely hit. Like if you're going mid lane and it's now magic damage, it's going to be dealing less damage. Whereas if you go on top lane, if you're playing into like stuff like I don't know Renekton or whatever, like I don't know. You'll probably know this off the top of your head. What's Renekton's base armor?
Eragon.
I'll know this off the top of my head. I think it's 35, but I might be wrong.
Boom! He knows it. Yeah. So
Really?
like for example, Renekton, 35 base armor, 28
Holy.
base MR. So if you hit him now, it's doing magic damage. You're actually doing more damage. Whereas if you go mid lane and you go Orianna, and I mean obviously she has a shield, but like her base armor is 20, her MR is 26. So if you're playing in mid lane as Naafiri and you're not doing magic damage, you're doing less damage. So I feel like
That's
for
interesting.
people
I haven't
playing,
thought about that. That's good.
So if you're playing specifically an AD champion in the mid lane who was going Deathfire Touch, those are the ones it's hit, which is a very small pool. But for
I
GP
guess-
top, he's kind of chilling.
Similar logic in bot lane, right? Like, because Senna can still go Deathfire Touch, and then like supports have huge base armor, right?
Supports, yes, but bot lane is like, I mean, take an example like Ezreal has 24 armor, 30 MR. You go like Lucian. Lucian has 28 armor, 30 MR.
Really?
So like 80 carries tend to have more MR than armor. But then with supports, it's the other way around. Supports tend to have like Pike, for example. Dude, Pike, have you seen what Pike's base armor is?
No, tell us.
Oh, I can't build health. Yes, okay, actually, no, I take it back because they nerfed him like into the ground.
Yeah, they nerfed Taumkench as well. Yeah.
He used to have 43 base armor.
Dude, I think Taumkench had 48, no? Or something like this. Really ridiculous.
Yeah, Pike has 37 now, but he used to have 43
still
until it was
high
a
for an
patch earlier this
assassin.
year. It's still high, but he used to have 43.
Yeah.
It's now 37. But then like
It's ridiculous.
Leona, for example, Leona's base armor is 43. Her MR is 32.
Which is crazy
But okay, I mean,
considering she
that's
has
exactly
a
my
buff
point.
on W.
Like earlier this year, Leona and Pike had the same base armor. Like
What?
just that seems so
That
weird.
doesn't make
it?
sense. Yeah.
That's pretty weird.
I mean, base stats is such a crazy thing when you think about it.
But that's
let's
just
look at-
crazy because I haven't actually gone through and conceptualized like I mean I didn't know supports were heavily armor stacked versus MR, for example, and vice versa for 80 carries. Like to me that's just so micro. That's just so I don't know. Interesting. Sorry.
The thing
what
is,
else are you gonna show?
if we're being honest, with Deathfire Touch, the numbers are so small. It doesn't make that much of a difference until you get like a decent amount of stats behind you when these champions. And the thing is as well, these are their very base stats. And so if you look at it, once they start gaining levels, the armor does start outscaling. So for example, I mean, I'm looking at Zeri. Zeri at level 1 is 24 armor, 30 MR, but at level 18, she is 95 armor, 52 MR. So as she gains level,
Right.
the armor will
interesting.
like quickly build up and overtake. So even though like early game, there's less armor, it'll quickly outstrip, right? So I don't think it really makes that much difference, but I will say that like the champions who start with higher armor will like that armor will just get higher and higher. I don't think it's like something that makes like a crazy amount of difference, but it's just something to think about, right? You know, I feel like that's part of the show is to dive in the little details on these things.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. Thanks for sharing. Again, it's just super in depth. Before we move off patch and talk about what you guys have been enjoying about your regions, I wanted to quickly just ask: Experimental Hexblade, Heartsteel, Static Shiv. Do you want to touch on any of these super quick before we move forward? Because these are the other 3 items, or sorry, the only 3 items I see that have been changed in this patch.
I think Heartsteel I could touch on. It's getting really popular in solo queue. I know one of the best Cassantes is saying like you can build this in Fimble, and he's just farming elo with it. The best Ornn macro, shout out to him. The GOAT, he's building a lot of Heartsteel at the moment.
Does the 2%, because for people at home that don't know, the permanent health conversion rate went from 8% to 10%. So they think that's big enough of a change to be like, oh my god, it's so OP.
They're perma spamming it in games where it makes sense, usually when you can proc Heartsteel more, right? And because of this change, they think it's super OP. We haven't seen it in pro play too much, but more health conversion is really good.
I think the way you have to think about it to sound more significant is 2% doesn't sound like much, but damn it, like it's actually a 25% increase because it was 8% before and it's 10% now.
True.
So it's like that is like 25% more larger. And also the way Heartsteel works is that it's a snowballing item where like I don't know if you remember when Heartsteel first released in ARAM, every single ARAM like everyone was building Heartsteel because they actually changed it to Heartsteel. You get half as many stacks in ARAM because this item was just ridiculous in release ARAM. In ARAM Mayhem it's different now. But obviously everything's crazy in ARAM Mayhem. But release ARAM for Heartsteel, release Heartsteel in ARAM was crazy. And it was because you got stacks so quickly, and then you got more stacks so quickly, and you got more stacks so quickly. And I remember like one of the first games of Heartsteel, me and all my friends got like 3,000 stacks on Heartsteel. It was ridiculous. And then they cut it in half, and we went from being able to get like 3,000 to you couldn't get like 1,000 was crazy because it's just like you got more, and then you got more, and then you got more, and it just like stacked on itself. And that's the thing, even though like 2% doesn't sound like much, it being a 25% increase, it gets you more health gets you more damage, gets you more health, and it just snowballs in that way. So it's more significant than it sounds.
I mean, the big thing is that like Heartsteel scales with itself, right? When you get more health, you do more damage, so you steal more. So like that's why it matters a lot.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't think Hexplate has changed too much. We still build Hexplate on range champions.
Again, the overdrive, like on ulting, before it used to give you 50% bonus attack speed, 20% bonus move speed for 8 seconds. Now it's 35% bonus attack speed, 14% bonus move speed. So there is significant percentage loss depending on where you sit.
It's still nerfed, right? The numbers are lower, but it still gives you 450 health. And
unchanged for melee, by the way. It's the same for melee. So
on range champs, we'll still build this, like it's
still
not
OP with it.
Yeah, true that. Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, I want to move forward. You guys were kind of alluding to it before, like what we'd seen at the start of LCK playoffs, Orcs, Eragon for you. I know you've been doing a bit of Twitch Rivals, and then you came back and still doing LPL playoffs. Eragon, I want to start with you, and I want you to tell me a little bit about your pick of the fortnight. Not the game.
Oh, yeah, sure. This is a banger.
One pick. I've changed this. Before I wanted like 3, but I'm like, actually, I kind of want 1. Like your favorite pick. We'll go around, and then Orcs, and then myself. Your pick of LPL playoffs so far for you, or even in a split that you've got to elaborate on 2 weeks ago. Take your pick.
Okay. I mean, I'll just start. I think Shen now has just invaded playoffs.
Really? Oh, was that Orcs? Was that yours? Orcs is like...
No! That was mine!
That was
Disaster. No, Shen, oh my god. No, like specifically AL and I was another team as well that have been playing it a lot. But Flandre is such a Shen merchant right now, and it looks really good. Even though they lost, I think they went 0-6 in playoffs and bombed out. It still looked really good. They default it into Scion, into the tank matchup so they can create space for themselves to be able to ulti your way. Because the most important thing with Shen is to be able to ulti to, for example, bot early on. And if you're in a hard matchup, you can't do that. So you take Shen and they combine it with Pantheon and Nocturne. And oh my god, yesterday or the day before, it was AL versus, I think it was BLG, right? Yeah, it was AL versus BLG. And they were Pantheon ulting, Shen ulting into the middle of 5 people, dropping Pantheon E for the invincibility as he lands.
Yep.
and Shen W at the same time. And they would just tank after ulting into 5 people, for 5 seconds straight. Because they couldn't take damage in the dodge zone and with Pantheon E. And they would do this every single fight. They would just dive bomb in Avengers with Shen on top of the Pantheon and be invincible for 5 seconds. And it seems really replicable and looks super
really cool,
OP.
That's a cool combination, though. They really could.
Yeah. So I think that's my pick. Shen with any global into tanks. It has a 67% win rate on 16.10. And
what's the build? What are we building? Are we still
I
going?
think Shen. It's still the same
Dawn?
build. So you go Titanic Hydra into Dusk and Dawn. Into Bandle Pipes was like the iteration that you usually went. But yeah, that's my pick. It's broken.
Yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure. I want to prio it in scrims as well.
Okay, interesting. Orcs, do you have something better than Shen? Sorry, bro.
Got something else. Don't
Yoink.
worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm gonna loop in the Shen a little bit, and then I'm gonna bring in another piece to put it together with. So because we did see Shen in Road to MSI, we saw a certain bot lane being played. We saw Mel Shen come out, and it was Shen support. We saw Shen into Nico, and we saw Shen into Alistair.
Yep.
And the Nico, it's pretty good because you can taunt like straight through. Because a lot of Nico times when you play into a melee, you can just send out like the clone to block skill shots. Doesn't really work against Shen. Doesn't really do anything. And Alistair is just really able to like dominate the matchup. Because if you ever get taunted and then you get followed up by the Mel, you just die. But I think Mel, I've always been a big fan of Mage's bot lane in general. I think Mage's bot lane at the moment are really strong. I think especially into a lot of these lanes that can be pretty vulnerable to like one-shot combos. And if you get through the early levels, you just have so much wave clear, and then you can just kind of free up your melee supports. We've seen the melee supports buffed to a decent degree. A lot of these lanes, it's like, as long as you're not losing like the first couple of levels, that is literally it. That is literally it. We've seen like we had Ziggs Camille into Kate Bard. If you play aggressively around like Camille's early level, and like she plays Ignite, you're just completely fine. And then Ziggs gets a recall, gets mana, you're chilling. But Mel in particular, I think this champion, how many times has this champion been nerfed? How many times has this champion, they had to change the W?
Okay, wait, hold up. It's a big psyop, no? How is Mel's win rate in solo queue so bad? I swear this champion does not warrant the win rate that she had.
Do you think they just not know how to use W?
What is that about?
Do you think they just not know how to use
I
W?
don't know.
They try and
it doesn't make
targets
any
on
sense.
ability. But what's the win?
I don't know.
Is this high elo win
It's
rate?
like 42% or something.
In high elo?
At the very least.
You know what it is? It's OG Rai syndrome or Akali. Remember when these champions were like absolute Thanos in pro play, or Azir, and then in solo queue they were like 12% win rate or whatever it was? It's that. It's returned. Mel is just, like there has been games where Mel has looked underwhelming, and it's when the enemy team has like Olaf. We had that game where T1 played Olaf top, and Olaf got like farmed, and then he came back and Mel just couldn't kill him. That is like the specific instance where like your team doesn't have enough damage and eventually you get outscaled. But most of the time, Mel just one-shots you. And even if you're a longer range AD carry, like how are you supposed to play the game against Mel when she just like shoots? She's like, Sparkle, he's a little bit of Arcane, bim bap bop, dead. One hit. Boom.
So,
she has a CC, she has a root, you throw a skill shot at it, she just pops it back. It's so on. You want to push a wave intro? Gone. You want to, her support hits a bit of CC in you, you're gone. I think that champion is pretty obnoxious.
And LCK knows it, to be fair. LCK knows it because you guys, I've seen it banned more and more. And then LEC, bro, like, I think we played it twice. I need to pull up Game of Legends, but, bro, I didn't understand because I was watching the LCK games and I watched it was a Guma or, who was it who went 18-2? 18-0 in LCK? Do you remember? Was it Hummer Live Steady Curry? Dude, you had an insane Mel game bot lane where it went so well. It was stupidly OP. You have so many games during the split. It's that
was it the Mel Camille into Corky Nico? Was that the lane?
Mel game? Might have been.
I think it was the carrier bot lane, no?
Yeah, okay.
Might have been.
I'm not really,
yeah, I think it was Pays. Yeah, it was Pays.
Yeah,
I think it was Pays.
Yeah. So I mean, that kind of just showed me, I was just like, oh my God. But obviously, they got ahead quite early and it got so many kills early that it was just unstoppable. But LEC didn't learn. And that was disappointing for me because, yeah, I agree. It's so broken. Orcs, what's the build at the moment? What's the build? Is it just Blackfire Torch?
On Mel?
Yeah. What's the most common build? Do you know?
I mean, a lot of people are still building, what's it called? Rocket Belt, because
Classic. Yeah.
Chovy exists in our league, so
Yep.
you're never going to be able to stop him, really. But it's just like, we always talked. You know what?
Why did you do this,
We're not coming
Hysterics?
back again.
What's wrong with you?
We're
You
not-
asked for AP mage itemization.
We spent 20 minutes on Rocket Belt on episode 1. Like, there's a whole
No,
section.
I can't.
We're not-
I can't do this again, man. I can't do this
good.
again.
I'm happy with that. Okay, so you're
I
right. It
can't.
is
You know
Rocket
what?
Belt. It's Luden's Echo.
Yeah,
Rabadons.
it's just
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, okay, I'm gonna say it. This is hard for me. I'm gonna say it.
Mhm.
I think it's okay for her to build Rocket Belt specifically
Okay.
because
Why?
she's a mobile, right? That's one of her weaknesses. She's a mobile, and I think it's okay for her to build Rocket Belt because she's a mobile, and there is situations where she can get good use out of it. So, I'm okay with her situationally building Rocket Belt, but not Ziggs. Okay.
Oh, bro. Oh, you missed it, Orcs. You missed it. Caps on Rise built Rocket Belt, so he didn't have Actualizer. Remember we talked about it 2 weeks ago? And it was literally like he got into a fight. And I was like, "Where's the damage?" I think I was casting it. Was it G2 vs MKoi upper bracket? It wasn't finals. No, it was finals actually. It was finals, and the Rise just looked weak because Caps just did no damage.
All right. I'm gonna ask you a question. You guys have played Aram Mayhem, yeah? You guys have played Aram Mayhem.
Yeah.
Yeah. You played a good amount?
Okay
a little
amount.
bit.
Casual.
More than Eragon, less than
Have
you.
you guys ever played? Yeah, you guys ever played Rise in Aram Mayhem?
No, not yet.
Are you talking about the one that like doubles your mana costs and so on?
Oh,
that
where-
augment?
I'm just asking, have you played Rise?
Yeah.
Played Rise before? Yeah. Have you seen the augment called Overflow
Is that the
in
one that
Aram
Eragon
Mayhem?
said?
Yeah, the one that doubles your mana costs and
Yeah.
makes you do like yeah. So let's say you got offered Overflow, right?
Mhm.
And then alternatively, you got offered dash a little distance every 40 seconds. Would you take Overflow or dash a little distance every 40 seconds?
It's a hard one. Let me think about it, man.
You're
It's a
playing
hard one.
Rise, by the way. I'm letting you know. So,
Do
here
you
are your
like
two
Actualizer?
choices.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think I might take the actualizer augment. I don't know about you guys.
I don't know, but I can close
What?
the gap.
That's crazy.
Protobelt, I can close the gap. I can go from
E
here
roots,
to
yeah,
here.
EW. Holy
Wow.
combo.
I think okay, I know I'm being a little sarcastic. I know I'm known for that.
Mhm.
I do think the situation where I could see the logic behind going Rocket Belt is if you're outranged, because Rise does sometimes have issues with being outranged.
Yep.
If you're like, I can't reach them, I can't get in range to do damage, I actually really need Rocket Belt to get in range. I could see the logic of going it then. If that's a situation, someone built it in, fair enough. I'm not gonna say you 100% were wrong. But I feel like Rise is one of these champions where this item was built for you. And if you end up in a scenario where you have to build Rocket Belt instead of Actualizer, maybe it was just a bad draft for Rise.
True.
Because I feel like a big reason Rise came so heavily into the meta was because Actualizer existed.
I mean, that's a really easy point. Like, if you feel like you need to build Protobelt, was Rise the right pick? I mean, I think, again...
You think so? Oh, interesting. I like Rise a lot for early pro.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
being able to move with the jungle.
But I understand
fair
what he
enough, yeah.
does. The Orcs point is literally like... And to elongate on it, is that if we're picking Rise here in this comp, but we feel like we need Protobelt, was Rise actually the right pick? So, I get that. I understand that completely. I do want to say, though, moving to a happier note, that I like that we've kind of started with Shen, and we've talked a little bit about Shen. Mel seems completely broken. Did you guys see, which is my pick, by the way, the Nasus Game 5 from Skewmon? Spoilers if anyone hasn't seen it, but bro, he let the dog out. And I have never been more happy to see a Nasus jungle, and never been smiling more when I listened to Lebrov's comms of him being like, Decane, that getting the best Nasus I've seen in a long time in competitive. Like Griffin played it in FlyQuest, yeah, whatever. Good for him. He talks about spreading his seed or something. That's legit. He goes into chats, talks
The
about
big G?
Yeah.
Talk about what?
He literally, I think it was Casual's chat, he went in and he's like, I'm spreading my seed in game 5 because he plays Nasus and
To
it's
Europe.
catching on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Nasus.
I mean, I heard about the game.
Mhm.
I did not get. I unfortunately have not yet seen the
You should-
game, so
hey.
I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you to. I will see it, but I'm trusting you to fill me
400
in now.
stacks, 10 minutes, I think.
I think like on that note, I think Griffin cooks, bro. Like that Nasus is a really good pick. The Shen as well.
Griffin cooks, but Skewmon fucks. Okay, I'm
Guys,
sorry.
guys, we have to be clear. Are we talking about Griffin, the guy on Twitter, or Griffin, the guy
No,
who plays
the
jungle?
guy who plays
in the
jungle
LCS?
for FlyQuest, not the guy on Twitter. No. He thinks he's spread his seed to Europe, man. Okay, that's what he thinks.
Okay,
He's done.
thank you for clearing that up because I just wanted to make sure.
I'm glad I could clear that up. You should go back and watch the final. I will say, like, I'm reintroduced to, I think, what the original most broken spell was in League of Legends history, which is Wither. Now, Wither at max rank is, did you know it's like a 99% slow for, what is it, 5 seconds or something? Bro.
Oh my god, this is so funny the way he says Wither.
What's wrong with how I say Wither? What's wrong with it? How do you say Wither?
Wither.
Say it again. Say it again.
Wither.
Why do you say it like
Wither?
that?
What do you want me to say? What's wrong with Wither?
bro?
Wither.
Try to say it like say wither.
Wither. Wither. What's wrong with it? What? Wither.
I didn't hear it until you said it. Now I'm gonna hear that every time he casts.
He sounds, yeah, that's it. He sounds like a wizard casting a spell. He's like, Wither! Wither! Oh my god, it's so good.
Oh, fuck me. How do you say wither? How do you say it? Wither. Wither.
Yeah, with yeah, exactly.
Not wither. It's wither.
Good job.
Oh god, it's pretty broken. 99%. 5 seconds. Cooldown reduction. It's up every 8. Yeah.
Watching the LEC finals, and I see Calist cleanse the Wither slow. and then just die after because he was CC'd by something else. And he's like taking cleanse to cleanse the Wither slow. That's how oppressive it is, I guess. No, it's just so stupid.
Bro, it is a point and click, and you know it has cripple, right? And cripple is, if anyone doesn't know, the mechanic that slows down attack speed. Yeah. So Nasus, who also, I didn't think in this game, he took Randuin's, I'm pretty sure, instead of, I'm not sure he had a Frozen Heart.
You go Protoplasm first, and then she unites him after. Yeah, it's nuts.
And don't forget, his passive is like, I think Medic said it in the cast. He's like, it's 7 words. It's Nasus has this much lifesteal, and he gets it at level 1, 7, and 13.
How much is it again? Is it 24%? It's a lot, right? They buffed it recently. I say recently. Yeah. I think it's quite a bit. I don't remember exactly how much lifesteal, but it's a stupid number.
Bro, do you know someone in your chat right now? People on the VOD or on Spotify won't see it, but like Dark World in your chat's just put in Locks R Purgatory, which is like...
Oh, I haven't even looked at this.
Bro, no, but the point is like Lock kicks a binding artifact to a location that opens on arrival, shooting chain soul nails at enemies in the area, dealing magic damage and slowing marked champions that are brought below a threshold that are pulled inside and killed. If a champion is executed, the duration of the binding is reset on affected other champions. After a few seconds, the artifact seals itself and is left on the ground if a champion was sealed. Nasus passive. Nasus gains 24% lifesteal. That's literally, bro, that was, take me back, man. Give me a League of Legends classic. These passives and these ultis, the ability names are so long, man. I've got to read the intro to bloody Lord of the Rings just to understand what one ability out of 5 is, you know?
All right. You know what we're going to do? This is spur of the moment.
Yep.
We're going to do confessionals.
Oh.
We're going to do confessionals.
Okay.
Confessionals.
Yeah.
What is something that you didn't know, you didn't understand for an embarrassingly long time that you only learn and that you're going to confess to now? You're like, wow, I didn't know that, and I really should have.
Oh, this new segment.
You're going to confess to it
so
now.
much.
You're going to pick one. You're going to be like, wow, I didn't know this.
I didn't know until my AD carry, asked my AD carry 2 months ago that Seraphine W gave move speed.
Really?
I had no idea. I thought it was just a AoE heal and shield. And then I played her like 10 games. I had no clue.
That's crazy.
I didn't realize.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I'll go next.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so this one's really bad because I actually haven't watched much of the Baus, and so I feel like everyone who has will know this. But I'd never seen this. I'd never seen this. I haven't played much of the champion, so to me, I didn't think of this being a thing. I didn't know that Sion could ult a tower and deal damage to it.
What? Does it?
Yeah.
When was this?
Yeah.
When did you after watching the Baus, or when did you realize?
Like 6 months ago or something.
What did you think the Baus special meant?
Well, I didn't watch the Baus. So, like, how would I know?
Well, that's your problem. Well, that's your problem.
How would I know? That's the thing. So everyone else knew, but I didn't know because he wasn't someone I regularly watched. Like, you know, he seems like a great guy. Like, he seems like a really entertaining guy, but he just wasn't someone I specifically watched. But then, like, it happened in a pro game where, like, and it was a tank Sion. He ulted a tower. I'm like, what is he doing? You know? I was like, what the hell is he doing?
Were you mid cast and you just
does he
the
think
mind?
he's a Rift Herald? Like, oh my god! Oh, that's my confessional, you know. And everyone else was like, "Oh, he's the Baus special." Yeah. So.
Oh, bro. You know, for me
now, Jake, you got to drop yours.
So for me, this might not be super obvious to everyone, but it took me, I think, 6 years at least. Like, I'd been casting LPL, and I didn't find out after a couple of years of casting LPL that standing behind Baron gives you an MR debuff. I didn't know that for years because I didn't look into the neutral at all.
You know, Jake, I'm gonna defend you.
Okay. Oh, there's a first. Go on.
I'm gonna defend you. They've changed Baron like 72 different times. There's now 3 different Barons. Who even know? They made it so like the MR shred stacks forever and then it doesn't stack for. Who even knows a Baron doesn't?
It's the territorial Baron. Nice.
It's the Hunter Baron. I just saw someone post on Twitter who is like, this Baron's the Hunter Baron. This is the one you got to watch out for now. It's the day. I just learned this is the dangerous Baron. And everyone replied like, oh, I didn't know it. No one knew this. No one knew that. What is he talking about? Nobody knows. I just thought the pit looked different. Like, they've changed that stuff. No one knows, man. No one knows.
Okay, I have a TikTok. It has 400k views. My most viewed video ever. And it's about Hunter Baron. About it being a thing. And everyone... I've got a Yasuo one trick in the comments. Top 10 challenger EU. And he's like, wait, this is a thing. He just has no idea. It's so true. It's so true, man. It's so true. You know what it was? There was a quote tweet about Alk Battery where it was like, every single caster learned the 3 names of these Barons and then forgot about them after 1 week. What is that? No,
forgot about them after 1
week. 1 week,
like,
bro.
This is going to be so relevant. I should learn these. 1 week later, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Bro, we just wanted to look good by like being like, oh, here comes the Hunter Baron. And then afterwards, they're like, who gives a fuck? Like, this one's got an open
We
pit.
read over the patch notes. We're like, this is going to be relevant. This is important. And no one cares. Nobody cares. No one in the last 2 years of League of Legends has gone, oh, it's a Hunter Baron spawn. This is really relevant.
I forgot they had names, to be completely honest, bro. I literally forgot until now.
And they have different effects. They do different things. They do different attacks. You know, it's actually relevant. But
sometimes that is relevant. You know, actually in the LPL, dude, someone's Naafiri ulti. He channeled Naafiri ulti, trying to turn from the pit. I think it was JDG. They were about to win a fight if the Naafiri ult went off, and got interrupted by a tentacle. Naafiri ulti
which Baron
got
is that?
Interrupted by a tentacle.
You know what?
I don't remember the name.
You know what? I want to be better at my job. I'm gonna go study those Barons.
Okay.
Next LCK cast.
Yes.
You're gonna hear me.
Say which one it is. Say which one it is.
I'm like, it's the territorial Baron. Do you know what this means? And my co-casters are gonna be like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. What is brother smoking today? What?
But dude, Atlas will eat that stuff up. I mean, both Atlas and Voldes will eat that stuff up. So that's.
They were like, "What is this guy?" Yeah. Okay, you should. Yeah. That'll be my new thing. Moved on from the Chem Baron. I'm now just the Baron.
You're the Baron. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like it's funny some of the stuff that like there is some stuff that is so hyper focused on in League of Legends and like people put so much attention to detail on, and then there is some stuff that it's like it's just a mystery. No, and not because you can't look into it, just no one cares.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, the wiki is so deep, by the way. Like, you can go down some crazy rabbit holes into the.
You can make 18-hour stream by
Yeah,
reading the wiki.
True.
you can.
Do you know how I know?
Yeah, shout out LS.
Have you've done it?
That's how I know.
LS. Oh, okay.
No, LS did it. LS
wow.
did it.
Wow.
Like-
Actually, that's goated. That's
Everyone
crazy. Everyone should, bro. That's the only reason I know what Rel's ulti has a unique effect that nothing else does. It's called kinematics, by the way. The magnet has kinematics is what it's called, or kinematics.
Kinematics.
If you go to the LoL
What is
wiki
it?
now and you look at kinematics, it's not like a. I've got to.
Is
go
this
and read
like
it.
you're pulled in like ASOL?
Yeah, but
W?
it's not. But his W doesn't have kinematics. Like,
okay.
I keep saying this
Rel
word, obviously,
wiki.
but if you go and you type in kinematics, right? Kinematics, lol wiki. Hold up.
There's nothing on the wiki called kinemat. You're just making this up. Where did you
No,
hear this from?
No, I'm not. It's rel alt. Apparently, actually, Aurelion Sol might have it as well. So, it's what the magnet storm is. It's types of crowd control in the lol wiki. You go down, there's knockdown, drowsy, sleep, slow, snare. And I think it's within a snare or a root, is it not? Or a stun?
I found it, yeah. A unit that is under the effect of kinematics will be continually dragged to a specific unit or location until they reach it. Kinematics has no effect on units that are performing any form of movement other than basic movement.
Yep. So, I
It's
think
just the
right
drag
now,
thing. Huh.
it is also Aurelion Sol, I believe, and Rel. So I think those are the only two that we have in the game. So, yeah. So that's
Wait. I've just read there's another bit to the article. It says one of the things under the effect of kinematics. Because something kinematics drags something, right?
yeah.
And it says here that it would drag these nuts.
No,
All right. All right. With that, I'm going to end the show. Eragon's going to be somewhere. Orcs, fantastic outro. Gents, you both got playoffs coming up, don't you? Eragon, how deep is playoffs? How many games left?
I think there are 2 series left, but I could
Okay.
be wrong. It's W versus BLG for
Yep, that's
spot
the
to face
final
finals.
spot at MSI, and then
Yeah,
Top Esports
exactly.
are waiting for them. Are you going to be co-streaming both of them?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Of
Eragon's
course, I'll be
Twitch.
live.
Twitch.tv/Eragon UK if you want to go check it out as well. Orcs, you're on LCK broadcast. Which ones? Yeah. Do you know your schedule? Can you say? Are you allowed to say?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on all the days for the real-time time.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're on, but you're on cast. You're on cast as well as Des, right?
I'm on cast all those days.
Okay, bro. Sorry. Orcs, you can check out on LCK as well. Gents, thank you so much for joining me. This felt like a more structured episode. Obviously, Eragon saying, hey, I only have an hour and 20 helped me limit it in
I
comparison
did
to...
try and destructure it as much as I could. So,
I know.
I did my best.
I kind of came in a little bit as well. You can check this out on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts as well. I'm making it available everywhere. On Spotify, just check out Meta Merchants as well. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 2. Eragon Orcs, thank you so much for carrying me as always. And we will see you in a fortnight, next fortnight, which is, what's the
On
date?
Fortnite?
We'll see you on Fortnite, yeah.
Where are we dropping, boys? Like,
Yeah, guys, we're gonna host this
So-
bi-weekly, and by bi-weekly we mean
we dropping Tilted
once
Towers.
every 2 weeks, not
Once every
2 times a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bi-weekly. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining in. If you're on Eragon's live stream as well, we really appreciate it. And we will see you guys in a fortnight on Fortnite. Bye.